Habitual disturbing emotions are hard to stop through counteractions. Armed with antidotes, the guards of mindfulness and mental alertness destroy disturbing emotions like attachment at once, as soon as they arise. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. In brief, whatever you are doing, ask yourself, what's the state of my mind? With constant mindfulness and mental alertness, accomplish others' good. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. To remove the suffering of limitless beings, understanding the purity of the three spheres, dedicate the virtue for making such effort to enlightenment. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. For all who want to train on the bodhisattva path, I have written the 37 practices of bodhisattvas, following what has been said by the excellent ones on the meaning of the sutras, tantras, and treatises. Though not poetically pleasing to scholars, owing to my poor intelligence and lack of learning, I've relied on the sutras and the words of the excellent, so I think these bodhisattva practices are without error. However, as the great deeds of bodhisattvas are hard to fathom from one of my poor intelligence, I beg the excellent to forgive all faults, just contradictions and non sequiturs. Through the virtue from this, may all living beings gain the ultimate and conventional altruistic intention, and thereby become like the protector Chenrezig, who dwells in neither extreme, not in the world nor in peace. So good morning, everyone. I understand that we had a circuit breaker blow already this morning with a heavy load of our air conditioner. So I sometimes think about how sort of easy we have it here. I forgot the name of the Khempo, who was the main Khempo for Penor Rinpoche. But he came here to Rochester once. Sevan Gatso. Yeah, he came here both during and after the Kala Chakra. And he told me his reactions to America when he first came. He said, people would be living in their heated house in the wintertime, and then they would leave the heated house into their garage, which was not heated, in the distance, and turn on their car long distance, they thought suffering was the moment before from they left the heated house to the moment they got to the heated car. We live in a very, very kind of fortunate time, but that doesn't necessarily apply to the mental stability of everyone. So nonetheless, I think all the time of just how incredibly fortunate we have been to have this Dharma kind of erupt in your life. I mean, it's truly miraculous. The important things in your life that you didn't think were important, the things that have happened spontaneously, and then how a path is presented, some sort of direction. Like Garinpoche said, in space there is no direction, and yet at the same time we need direction. So that's what we live with as human beings. All right, so this morning we got the air conditioner on. I hope everyone stays comfortable. And I think Khempo, I think was going to teach a little bit more on the Four Noble Truths. So Khempo, please take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Last Sunday, we were talking about Four Noble Truths with Hari. Last Sunday, many things going on, celebrations and teachings, So just we done short kind of introducing of the Four Noble Truths. Basically, the Four Noble Truths, essence of the Dharma. And Buddha, the first teaching. So ordinary people like us, we need very much knowledge of the Four Noble Truth first. And the Four Noble Truth, there are three categories levels. Gross level, subtle levels, and very, very subtle levels. You understand what I mean? So therefore, the Four Noble Truths is not only for like religious talk, right? So this is for helping us the daily life situation. You understand what I mean?
Mm.
Right? And if you really have good comprehension of the Four Noble Truths, you are rich of the karmic system.
What of the karmic system?
Rich.
Ranch?
No, rich people.
Rich people, like people with lots of money.
Right.
All right.
Richest, right? Rich.
Yeah, like you.
The rich of the karmic systems.
You own the karmic system, like you.
The Buddhism makes us the rich thought. You understand? Rich thought or idea to protect our daily life dangers, suffering, and to prevent the next disaster things and the suffering. You understand what I mean? So therefore, we need to study Four Noble Truths, right? So Four Noble Truths real is cause and effect. So all the happy we have daily life, all the suffering we have daily life, right? Those all whatever happy or suffer, it come from cause and conditions. You understand? Every day, every single moment, happy or suffer come from cause and conditions, right? So that means we just let a bit wrong thinking and it makes us suffering, and right thinking makes happy. That is called the karma. And that is the Four Noble Truth. You understand what I mean? Huh? So therefore, Buddha first says, you need to know the truth of suffering. That means you need to know the cause and effect. So then what happened? If I know very well cause and effect, and then you can make by yourself more happier or more suffer, whatever you want. You understand what I mean? If you think, oh, that makes me really suffering, so therefore I need to change my mindset. And then you can change by yourself without anybody's situation. And then that makes you happy. Even sometimes you're too much happy, or I need a little bit of suffering, and then you just think negative. Definitely, immediately you're falling down with the suffering. That is cause and effect. You understand?
Yeah.
So therefore, Buddha said, first teaching important for everybody. Real meaning, this is not only for Buddhists. That is not only for lamas, monks, and nuns, or practitioners intentionally. That real meaning, whoever want to be happy life, you need to know this situation. If you don't want to get any suffering, you need to know cause and effect. That is first truth of suffering. You understand?
Mm.
So we are very dark, the cause and the effect. Even we really already suffering, but most people, they don't know I did something wrong. That's why I got suffering. We think always for others did something bad for me.
Mm.
And sometimes including their God.
Mhm.
God did me suffer.
Mhm.
You understand? So therefore, very important to understand and to comprehension the Four Noble Truths. So last Sunday, I just mentioned for slight, right? Short,
Yeah.
in brief, cause and effect, truth of suffering. Everybody knows suffering, the three different types of suffering. Suffering of the change, right? Suffering of the suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and suffering of letter. I don't know this English. Before I, what is called? Luigi. Suffering, subtle of common suffering. This is difficult to recognize.
Yeah.
But we, everyday life, we know change of suffering and suffering of the suffering. Right?
Mm.
So those all come from where? Cause and condition. That causal condition, or how to say, come from real name is called the Gunjong, interpreted Gunjong. In English translation, there says the how to say origin.
Origin.
Origin. That's literally translation. Literal translation is say Gun is all. A-L-L, all.
All.
And Jong is source. Source.
That's,
Origin.
yeah.
The
Also,
all origin. All of region. Origin, right?
origin. Yeah.
Origin.
Origin.
American accents, you know, R is most disappeared. Origin. So, um, all of region. So that means all what?
Mhm.
All suffering.
All comes from origin.
All comes from
Yeah.
origin.
Yeah.
That is called the Gunjong. So then what is Gunjong? The whole name is truth of origin.
Mhm.
Origin, right? What is that? That is only two things. Mainly important three things. Everybody knows that three poisons: ignorance, attachment, and anger. They're very easy.
Mm.
If you really take care or control your three poisons, ignorance, attachment, and anger, the other ones already read off.
Mm.
They call the two different types truth of origin. Emotion, negative emotion, and actions. They call the action.
Mm.
So if you arise your mind too much attachment, and then you making mistake. The making mistake is action.
Mm-hmm.
And you will say the lie, you will make the how to say, you will use the harsh word, and you try to talk divisive talks, you know, and the gossip things. Those are action.
Mm.
So those are cause, right? If you, like for example, this attachment in the house come when you see and beautiful, good things, and you love that, you inspiring, and you try to talk about attachment things. If you see something for person or things or whatever you encounter and you not really love, you not really like, and then you try to talk about anger, like things. All those two come from ignorance. You don't know what happened after that. The repulsions. So they're easy. That is, if you these things, how you remove or how you try to make the reduce, you do that things, you no need to ask anyone, you no need to permit from anyone. You can do yourself. You understand? You no need to make any money for that. You no need to buy the car. You no need to have house to eradicate your repulsions. Just change the mind when circumstances come and try to more relax and calm down and think wise, wider, right? And then relax. Very easy. So then your life will be going to gorgeous. Yeah, really, that's for sure. Did you see in someone already eradicate their repulsions and stay their suffering? Huh? No, impossible. For example, if you don't have $1, right, and you go to the shopping mall, you cannot buy anything because you don't have any cost, and then nothing happened for result. Similar, if you already eradicate your repulsions, you never have any suffer because there's no cause. That's for sure. For one day you try to be happy and relax yourself, you are really, really peaceful mind. Right? Don't think too much. External circumstances, inner circumstances, so many things there actually. Right? We stay home alone, but thinking too much, and that makes you suffering. Because you're thinking wrong. You're thinking over. So those all negative thoughts or thinking or doing is called the truth of origin. Right? You understand? So therefore we need to rid of, remove, rid of.
Yeah.
No, rid of, R-I-D.
Get rid of.
Get rid. Oh yeah, need
Yeah.
to get there. English is for example, if look, L-O-O-K,
Right.
the perfect verb, the real verb, and people need to put before their take look.
Take look.
The take is no need there actually. Please look this one. You look here, look there. It's good enough. But need to take look. Take is no use there. And then similar right now, rid of is real perfect, real verb, one verb. No need to get there. Get rid of. But anyway, there's something like that. So whatever, eradicate or remove,
Get rid of.
right? Get rid of. And there is no suffering. That's for sure. You understand what I mean? So therefore, we need to think. Suffering, most people suffering, they don't know suffering as suffering.
Mm.
Really. So in the daily life, we are every day tired. Many people, number of the people keep saying tired, tired, right? And then many people think this is account for any causes. It's just natural. Like, don't think too much. I'm so tired. And then we need to think why I'm tired today. And the next, you be careful. Don't get tired. That is the truth of suffering, right? If you what foods makes your health problem, don't try to get that food. And then you no problem. We making continuous money, eating continuous poison, and all making money go to hospital. Then what is reason there? Right? That's for sure. So therefore, we lack of knowledge of the Four Noble Truths,
Mm.
cause and effect. Huh? That's good. I think I feel much better now. Yeah, something like that. If you, for example, walking morning and evening, if you too long walking, makes you tired. And like every day you take walk like hours, and 1 hour walking makes you tired, and then tomorrow 10 minutes less. And then that's you just get rid of 10 minutes,
Mm.
and then you're more relaxed. That is cause and effect. You understand? If you like if you're very starving before lunch, right? Eat too much, and right after 50 minutes, your stomach painful
Mm.
because you did wrong something. You too much.
Mm.
Think that way, and next time, whatever you really get starving, try to eat moderate, and then stomach problems are not coming. Right? I have some problem. That things. Sometimes I'm so starving, I eat very fast. You know, and then like even not 20 minutes before I get already pain for my stomach. All these things is a cause and effect. So if we have knowledge clearly and perfectly understand the cause and effect, we will have more happy life. Actually, English, they are more and happier is not goes together, right?
Right. Right.
Grammatically wrong, right?
Right.
Right. More happy, it makes sense.
Right.
Or happier.
Happier.
Right. So yeah, something like that. So therefore, we need to know suffering things. And the day and dark, always people with the suffering. That's for sure. It doesn't matter you are a believer or non-believer. In the summertime, we think, oh, outside is very, very happy today. We need to go to park, take walk, right? Looking around. So nice. Go outside. Even you cannot take walk even 2 hours. You get tired, and then you want to go back home, right? These are suffering. Suffering or happy? Huh? Go outside the suffering or happy? Huh? No, impossible both.
Suffering.
Maybe suffering, maybe happy. Happy and suffering totally different. If you're happy, you are not suffering now. If you're suffering, there's no happy, right? Huh? Dark and day never comes together. Huh? Day and night never come together. Right, Paula?
Right.
The fire and the water no goes together. Maybe die the fire, maybe dry the water. Sure or not? Huh? Healthy body and unhealthy body now goes together. 1%. If you're healthy, you are not, there's no unhealthy situation with you. Right? But your hand is health, very good health, but your legs is probably unhealthy. Could be that. But that is not called your body, part of your body. In general, you are a healthy person. And that means you are not a healthy person. Right? So now here things, if your daily life need to be happy, and think morning, what do you need to do today? Prepared to remove any negative action and thoughts, and prepared to be think or be ready to do something positives. And then very good day every day. So therefore, this is knowledge of the daily life situation to be with the positive things. Right? So therefore, this is not only for sort of religions. This is a truth of nature, reality situation. If we understand, we have great knowledge for cause of the happiness and reduce the cause of suffering. Right? So when your really attachment comes negative, you try to remember, oh, this is cause of the suffering. Then you're pretty high knowledge. Too many people don't think that this is a good thing for this helping me to be happy. Therefore, they stuck there and they get suffering. When your anger calm, almost, and you need to recognize that this makes me suffering. This is cause of the suffering. And you feel jealousy, you need to recognize immediately this is cause of the suffering. A daily life, when you're going outside, inside, whatever, talking with the people, doing something your own work, or driving, whatever, every moment you need to remember if you're happy, or this is great things. This is come from positive things, positive thoughts and positive actions. And be proud by yourself. Well, today I did a good job. I didn't do any wrong things. Therefore, I'm really happy. Okay? If you something happen, suffering, and then you need to think what I did wrong. If you don't remember immediately, reflect for yourself. You did wrong thinking, you did wrong action. Only two things. Very easy. Either one you did, therefore you get suffering now. Okay? If you remember clearly yesterday you did something, last month you did something wrong, last year you did something wrong, if you don't remember the previous life, that's okay. And then you remember clearly, and then you make commitment. I will not do that again. That makes me suffering. for sure. The suffering making myself. The suffering not making by others. Right?
Mhm.
So real is how we really struggle with our negative thoughts and negative actions. That's most important things. Shantideva said clearly, you cannot kill all other enemies. If you kill today 10 enemies, tomorrow 20 enemies come to you. They kill your enemy 3% first, and there's no any enemies
Mhm.
in the outside. Everything, everybody, including 4 elements, is your friend. So many people, just meaningless. Somebody is very had water, had the fire, had the place, right? And had the food,
Right.
food the table. I had table. What the reason? I had the jacket, right? I had this restaurant. There's no reason. I had this weather. If you really cut off your head, weather's your enemy, friend. Right?
Because I heard that there are no enemies.
What say again?
I have no enemies in this space.
Well, you don't have?
In this space,
What this space?
At White Lotus, he means. He says he doesn't have any enemies at White Lotus, so he likes coming
That's
to White
good
Lotus.
for you. That's good for you. Then you're more happy. Everybody your friend, really. Right? And then you don't have any enemies, White Lotus. And then you try to make, you don't have any enemy in the Rochester. And then you make more wider, and then next 2 months later, you don't have any enemy in America.
Mhm.
and in the
Okay? And then I don't think overseas you have their enemies. Because majority of people they don't know you.
Right.
Even you are born in Rochester or not. Of course, nobody probably know overseas you are Uber driver. So there's no problem. Don't worry. But mainly important things is White Lotus Sangha. That's good your example, really. Wonderful. And your family members. You can make the happy your family members, and then you can make more people happy. That's for sure. And White Lotus, Rochester's, you are daily life with your customer, and then you have chance, you have opportunity to make more people and more happier for others. That is your Dharma practice, really. Dharma practice are many times mentioned here. Dharma practice means there's not special locations. There's not special time.
Mm.
No space, no time. That means anywhere, anytime. Real 24 hours you need to practice Dharma. That means it doesn't mean you need to sit down, you need to meditate, you need to chanting something. It doesn't mean. Just think positive, keep a trusting mind, right? Make the commitment. If I cannot be able to help others, at least I never harm others.
Mm.
Directly, indirectly, or secretly. 3 things, huh? You understand? Directly. Some people very smart. Most the politics things. They directly is very nice, talk very wonderful, so sweet people. They indirectly they harm others.
Indirectly. Yeah.
Indirectly, there's more danger.
Yeah.
Really. So therefore, I'm telling you here, directly, indirectly, and secretly. the cigarette is more danger also.
Secretly, yeah, most dangerous.
So these three things you can be able to get rid of, and then you are great practitioner. And then that makes you really daily life happy. That's for sure. Okay, almost 1 minute. Today is good thing. You know, my mind says you almost finished your talk, and then I watch
Uh,
12 exactly. Okay, these things are very important. So now understand Four Noble Truths a little bit. And the most important, these two things, truth of suffering, truth of origin, these two things, causality of the samsara.
Mm-hmm.
Causality, right,
Causality.
of the samsara.
Yeah.
If you not really remove, or if you not try to remove your negative thoughts, you keep taking rebirth in this samsara with the suffering. Okay? And the most important to know suffering. Suffering you need to recognize. That's important. Okay?
Khempo, you might touch again on the three sufferings, because I know there was a little language problem with the third one. Yeah, so we had the suffering of suffering, which is what everybody thinks of. You read in the newspaper. Suffering of change, and we know that. I've got this wonderful situation, and then it changes. Hot, then it could cold, whatever. But the third one, he was stumbling in the English word. It's either the suffering, it's the subtle suffering. So it's like pervasive, or the nature.
Pervasive, right?
Pervasive,
I don't
yeah.
didn't remember. Pervasive.
Yeah. The example they give is that for,
Right, you tell these.
yeah, this is wonderful example which shows you the profundity of Buddhist thinking. So, if we have a hair resting on our hand, just a
Honey
tiny
particle hair.
little tiny hair, little very fine hair, like off of your, just tiny hair on your skin. We don't even feel it. So if you're on the level of the
Here, palm of the
in the
hand.
palm of the hand, thank you.
If your tiny particle hair put here,
Yeah,
you no feel.
yeah. But for the bodhisattva, it's like that hair's in his or her eye. They feel it, so they feel that subtle suffering. The fact that this conditioned existence we're in is subject to suffering, dissatisfaction, is subject to change. They know even in the happy, the best samsara gets, it's not perfect.
Right. For example, that's right. So if you something 1 hour before injury your knees, you're so suffering, right? So suffering. That time you other body part, any part of body and they're suffering, but very painful. And then after 1 hour you broken the left legs, and then feel these injuries.
Right.
Because you have lots of suffering here.
Right.
So therefore we have suffering of the suffering and change of the suffering. We start there. Like sidal level suffering, we don't really feel. The similar, the particle, one tiny bit air, palm of the hand, we not feel. Bodhisattvas, the transcendent people, the tiny bit hairs, it put the eyes, we are very painful in the eyes. Similar, because they already remove the truth of suffering, change of the suffering, and suffering of the suffering already completely eradicated. So therefore, what is happened? Pervasive suffering arise. You understand?
It also gives you a hint at the great compassion of the bodhisattva.
Right.
Because looking at every situation, they see with compassion, because everything they see the suffering nature of what's going on. It's like, maybe a bad example, but, it's like looking at the birthday party of young children or something. It seems like totally wonderful. But with more understanding, you realize, oh, they're going to have to go to school, go through middle school, go through all that turmoil. Then they have the anxiety of what do I do after school, and you go, and then you have relationships, and you can see the suffering nature of conditioned existence.
Right.
So it's greater compassion.
Every day, like, right now we just need to short break. Why suffering?
Yeah.
Me suffering, P suffering, T suffering, many things. Really, why we need to sleep tonight? Because suffering. If not sleep, why we get out? Because suffering. If not get out,
Right.
why do we eat the breakfast? Because suffering. And why do we need to eat lunch? Because suffering. If not eat, go outside, inside the suffering, that's why go outside. Go home, why outside the suffering, go home. Therefore, like countries officially 2 days off because of suffering. It doesn't mean people don't love money. They cannot because suffering. Right?
Yeah.
So everything suffering.
But important Kempo too, because when like Christian missionaries went to Asia in 1800s, 1700s, and even Western like materialistic philosophers, they heard all this about suffering, 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 suffering. And they didn't understand that Buddhism is very positive. When the suffering's gone, this is wonderful. But all they kept thinking, so they always, you still hear this sometimes, Buddhism is pessimistic. And instead of trying to, trying to make happiness out of something that is suffering, which is just ignorance, they don't go all the way. They don't understand the teaching. And some people even said, Kempo, there was one man, for instance, who went to Burma, and he said they're talking about suffering all the time, but all these people are happy. Thought it was a mistake. Why are they all happy? Just ordinary Burmese people living out in villages, And Tibetans are like that too. Americans often have this response. They meet Tibetans seem happy. And when they don't know, the fullness of the Dharma, they just think suffering, suffering, suffering. Why are they happy? So it's important
The
to understand.
Gambupa says, if narrow mind is summoned, you cannot stay alone yourself nicely. If you have great opportunity to privacy,
Privacy.
and nice place, but you don't know how you stay for perfectly.
Uh-huh.
You get a lot of sufferings.
Uh-huh.
And also that person or people, they don't know how to spend time with the people.
Uh-huh.
And then they will go to with the people, they try to make fight and show the attitude
Right.
and take the more selfishness. So therefore, with the amount, with the people suffering and stay alone home, that's a suffering, whatever suffering.
Right.
If you change your mindset, if you change the mindset, wherever you're happy, alone by yourself, happy, with the people, you are happy. That's for sure. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Huh? So that is not created by God, not created by Buddha,
Yeah.
not created by your teacher. You do. They give the teachers at Bodhisattva Buddhas, they give us idea. You do like that. Beginning, the mom teach us how to eat. And the once we understand, we can eat. Right? Okay, now over talk. Okay, short break.
Yep.
And then coming back. And then get less suffering and then come back more happy. And then we